Hey guys, OldGuyGaming here, back again with another Atari 2600 game review, and tonight we're going to be doing a classic of gaming history adventure for the Atari 2600. This copy of Adventure was donated to me by a member of the Atari Age forums who requested to stay anonymous, but definitely sent me an email or sent me a message in the Atari Age forum saying, hey, could you review this game? Do you own it? Sent this game over to me for free to play, and this person was obviously at least a fan of the show or the videos, because he even was aware of the fact that I prefer the art form over the text form on games. So this to anonymous Atari Age forum user, this review goes out to you, my friend. Thank you very much. Okay, so Adventure was done by Atari itself in 1979. Tells you how old the game's, almost as old as I am. Programmed by Robin Warrenette. The storyline behind the game is basically this: an evil magician has stolen the enchanted chalice and has hidden it somewhere in the kingdom. It is your job as the adventurer to find the chalice and return it back to the Golden Castle. This game is outstanding in so many ways. The first thing I want to take into is a game of firsts. It's a first for a lot of things, not only on the Atari 2600 platform, but in video gaming as a whole. So, first of all, it is the first action adventure style game ever made. Up until this point, a lot of the games were like shooter games or space games, and they didn't really have ends, and it was really, the objective was to try to hit the high score. There's not even a score in this game. You can't score points. The whole purpose behind the game is to get that chalice back to the Golden Castle. It is a first. We've not seen anything like that, especially with the Atari 2600 console, and we saw very few games after that did anything similar. But from a programming perspective and from a gaming perspective, it did so many other cool things. It was the first 2600 game to use multi-screens on the console. So most games that you put into the 2600, you look at one playfield and that's it. That's the entire game. Whereas this one had multiple things going on. There were multiple screens to go on. The monsters inside the game itself, the bat and the three dragons, which we'll get to here in a second, move off screen. So in other games, you have to be on the screen for stuff to be moving around, but these monsters, especially the bat, is moving all throughout the kingdom, even if you're not anywhere near it. So all of these things were innovative stuff that had never been done on the console before. As I mentioned before, it is a game with an end. You can beat this game. It's the only game, like the only way to win the game, because you're not scoring points. You're not setting a high score. The only way to get through the game is to return the chalice to the Golden Castle. Monsters with different states is something also that this game did that no other game had done prior to it. The bat being the one in question to start off with. The bat can be in an agitated state where it goes out and it's seeking intentionally to swap out items, and then it can be in a calm state where it's just happy with the item that it has, and he's just going to be not chasing after you and not trying to swap out items. He's also super annoying. The reset button. So this one actually, it was the first rudimentary continue state that you'd ever had on any game before. Prior to this, games didn't do it. If you hit the reset button, you started from scratch. However, if you die in the game, and trust me, you will die in this game, if you hit the reset button, it will bring you back to life. It'll resurrect your hero. It will also resurrect all of the dragons that you killed, but all of the items that you have moved around into different locations will stay there. So it is the first version of a continue that we'd ever seen on any type of game. And since they didn't have passcodes, at least at this juncture in the console's history, and we clearly didn't have save games, this was a way to continue on with your progress. One of the other things that made it, like, there are mazes throughout the game. I mean, you should be seeing gameplay right up here at this point. There are mazes during the course of this game, and there was a fog effect that they did with it. So basically the story is that you're carrying a torch in these darkened mazes, so you can only see a very limited level of the playing field, which made it really difficult to memorize some of those mazes. And on top of all of that, it is also the first Easter egg to ever be programmed into a game. The programmer himself, Warren Robinette, was, a little disappointed in the fact that writers were not getting credit for the games. A few people left Atari to go and form Activision for those reasons. So he found an interesting way to get credit for writing the game and programming in the world's first Easter egg into a game. So if you hit a certain combinations and find this hidden item, you can take it into a secret room, and hopefully I've got a screenshot of it up here right now where you can see this secret room with his name in the game. By the time Atari found out it was there, it was already too late. They'd already set it out for sales. So let's kind of get in a little bit more into the game itself. As mentioned before, there are 4 creatures in the game. The dragons are the first ones we're going to talk about, and they even have names. So the yellow dragon is Yordle, or I think there's another name. There's 2 different names in the manual, depending on which. I think it's Yordle is the correct name. And he has different behaviors. His whole job is to guard the chalice and protect the other dragons. And interestingly enough, he is afraid of the golden key. The green dragon is Grundle, and he protects the black key, the magnet, and the bridge. Other cool items that they programmed in: a magnet that can actually pull items out of walls, and a bridge, especially for those mazes that you get into where there are certain areas that you just can't get into without using the bridge to be able to get across it. All of these things were innovative new ideas. And lastly, the red dragon is Rendell. He is the fastest of all of them, and his whole job is to guard the white key. So it was interesting to see that these things, like, it wasn't just random ghosts moving around a board like they did with the Pac-Man port. They all had their own jobs and their own personalities. The last monster, or not really a monster per se, to take mention of, is the bat. The bat will just fly randomly throughout the kingdom and will swap items. And it is the most confounding, infuriating thing, the bat, because the bat will take anything. The bat will take live dragons, the dead dragons, the bridge, the chalice. You'll be just getting ready to get to the golden castle, and the next thing you know, the bat will hit into you and then take an item that you need, and now you have to go chase after the damn bat to go get it. It's pretty infuriating, but it's a lot of fun. And again, he's got his own different personality that he, depending on what mood he's in, is what mode he's in. He's going to be either seeking out to switch items or keep the items that he has. There are 3 levels, only 3 levels to this game. The first level is the introductory level, is the easiest one to beat. And you only have the yellow and green dragon. The red dragon is not present. The bat is not present. And the entire section of the white castle and all of the mazes in the black and white castles not present in any way, shape, or form. So it is an introductory level to the game. The gameplay here, I should have played on the first level and beat that. I want to take note real quick. Level 2 and level 3 are the next ones. I'll get to this in a second. Level 2 and level 3, add the red dragon, add the bat, add the white castle, and all of the mazes that go along with it. And you have there's more of the kingdom. There's more area to cover whenever you go into the second and third. The only difference between levels 2 and level 3, level 2 has everything in a set place. So you can kind of memorize where all the items in the game are and be able to plot your way through the kingdom that way. Level 3, very different, because all of the items are randomized. And there are plenty of occasions where an item that you need gets put into a locked castle that you don't have access to get the key to, and you're kind of relying on the bat to be able to pull those items out. So that can be kind of fun. In the gameplay that you're seeing up here, just raw, I mean, playing it just to do the raw coverage up here, I ended up beating it on level 3 for like the first time. I haven't touched this game in years. This is the first time I've touched it whenever it showed up in the mail a couple of days ago, and I beat it on level 3 just right when I was so excited. So I really wish I could have been record that for gameplay here. The difficulty switches also affect the game as well. The left difficulty switch, if it's in the B position or novice position, depending on the model of Atari that you're working with, the dragons will pause before they try to eat you, which will give you a little bit of time to try to get out of the way. If it's in the A position, they will not. The right difficulty switch, if it is turned in the A position, being the novice position, dragons will run away from the sword, and if it's in the more difficult position, they won't. They'll still continue to charge you. This is an amazing, fantastic game. Let's go on and get into some of the actual gameplay of me playing the game before we go on to review the final score at the end. So I'm going to edit this in post, but I forgot to mention the records because I'm so excited about playing this game. I forgot to mention the records and those that hold it. So let's go into it. For game level 1, difficulty B, the world record, according to Twin Galaxies, is held by several people. 3 different people hold the record. I guess there is a top end on this one of 32 seconds. To beat the game. I thought that I beat it pretty quick in the gameplay that you're going to see coming up, but not nearly that fast. Since there's only 3, I can actually read them off. Greg Denegraff, John P. McAllister, and Mark Cohen both hold the same record of 32 seconds for Game 1 Difficulty B. Game 3, which is the randomized ones, John P. McAllister also holds this one for 25 seconds. I don't know what. Did he find the chalice in the next room? 25 seconds? So that is the interesting part of having the randomized rooms. Now, whenever you get into difficulty B, game 2, that's a little bit of a different story, but Greg Denegraff still holding the record with John P. McAllister right behind him, 1 second behind, at 1 minute and 18 seconds. That's really impressive. And finally, interestingly enough, getting to the Easter egg itself, the completion itself, Greg Denegraff himself owns this record as well, as at 52 seconds, with John P. McAllister right behind him at 53 seconds. These 2 guys must be adventure maniacs because they've got all the records. I think there is one more one. There's an emulation record for the fastest one, which is the exact same time of 32 seconds for Matthew Felix. And that's kind of about it. Game 2 on the emulation record is going to be 1 minute and 54 seconds. So those are all the records for the game of adventure. So we'll get you right back to the review right after this. Okay guys, here we are with the actual gameplay of Adventure on the Atari 2600. I am just going to do level 1 just to prove that I still remember how to do this. Fantastic. I know that there's only 2 dragons. I know exactly where to find them. Here's one. Here's the second over here. And now I no longer need the sword. It's that simple. Level 1's super easy for an introductory version of the game. You do need the black key, of course, to go up to the black castle, where in this level is where it's hiding. This is going to give you an example of what some of the mazes are like. Again, I have memorized this one. I didn't even need to think about how to get to the black castle whenever I fired this up in the 2600 for the first time. There's the bridge. You don't need it. You can use it. You don't need it. There's the magnet. You don't need it. You can use it if you want. I myself have always been the kind of guy that I want to be able to grab the chalice from the top so that I'm on top, so whenever I take it in, I'm actually in the castle when you win the game. But this is it. This is how simple this first version of the game can be. Easy walkthrough on how to get in, filter your way through the maze, and off you go. I love how the little flashing things are showing up on there. Into the yellow castle. And there's the game 1 on level 1. So let's get a little bit more complicated. So let's go ahead and select this down to level 3 where everything is randomized. I'm going to let this go for about 10 minutes because I don't want to go too crazy on this. But here we go. Nothing's here. Alright, what do we got down here? Anything? Oh, there's a sword. That's a good start. Let's head over to... Oh, there's a dragon. Let's pull him out here because I do not... No! No! I want to pull him over to this other room. No! 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 Alright, I think I need to reposition the sword here. The only complaint I have about the controls on this game, I really wish. Alright, come on, Mr. Dragon. You're asking for... There you go. And, of course... Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Alright, so that's 2 dead dragons. Nope, I don't want the bridge. Not yet. Let's see if we can... I think I can still get to the White Castle. With him being in the way. Let's go take a look. Alright, we can get on the other side. Wait, no, I was going to say, the White Castle's right over here. What's down here? There's the magnets over here. No key for the White Castle. So let's go to the other room, shall we? Sometimes we will have other stuff floating in these rooms just because that's where the random empty room here, empty room here. So now we're going to head up towards the Black Castle for the maze. This is the fun part about having this. What am I stuck on? That's weird. Oh no. Oh no. I dropped the sword and I don't want to drop the sword. I want my sword back. Oh no, I lost the sword. I lost the sword. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Alright, let me pull them. Let's see if I can pull that back out of there. It's got to be here. It's got to be like right there. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay, good. Don't want to lose the sword. That's super important. We still have one more dragon. Once the other dragon's dead, it doesn't matter. I'm also really surprised I haven't seen the bat yet. Oh, okay, perfect. Let's hide the sword here and hope the bat doesn't take it. Get that castle open, because yeah, that is going to be key. There we go. So I've come into that castle with a dragon in there. So you got to be careful. Alright, so we've not seen a couple things. We've not seen the magnet. Oh, there. Let's get him. There we go. Alright, so there's the white key over there. Let's go get that. Because we no longer are in need of the sword. Oh, the black key's right here. We might not even need the white castle. So we're going to drop that there and hope the bat takes it. I wonder where the bat's hiding. Wonder where the bat's hiding. He has been... Oh! Okay. Can you let that go and let me get out of here? Ho ho. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Mr. Bat. No, don't get stuck on that wall. I know I've mentioned this in other reviews before, but oh boy do I hate doing this on a D-pad. And level 3... I can record it and say that it's been done. Beaten level 3. Ah, that's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. You have no idea how hard that was whenever I was a kid. Oh, good, my goodness. I think that's going to do it. I mean, I could probably sit down. Unfortunately, again, on level 3 with how random the game can get, you could be here for hours, especially if you don't get an item that you don't need. Like, we didn't even need to go into the White Castle. I might, let's go ahead and try one more time getting into the White Castle. Just to kind of show you where it is, because each castle, both of them have mazes. Hey, the sword's here today. Anything up here? Anything up here? No, we're good. Oh, there went the bat with the black key. That's going to be unfortunate to try to chase him down. What's over here? And the random bridge. Sure, why not? No, I still have dragons I've not seen. There are still 3 dragons floating around out there. No! Oh, okay, he left me with the sword. Poof. Okay, so no keys. What did he drop? Where did he drop something in here then? Didn't he pull that out of here? Yeah, that bat adds so much complexity to this game. Because you never know where to find anything, especially on this level. Alright, let's go to the other maze and see what's in there. I'm going to suspect there be dragons that direction. Wait, did you see that? Oh, yeah, there he is. Die. That's the red dragon. He's the most difficult one. He will absolutely chase you down. Alright, let's see what's heading up in the Black Castle's direction. Anything? Anything? Anything. Nothing. Okay. So this is going to be one of those scenarios where the stuff that you need is buried in a castle somewhere. So obviously we need either the black or white key to proceed, and I haven't seen any keys other than the yellow key that we found. Magnet. I might go into the... we haven't even found the yellow key yet. Let's take a look and see if the bat dropped anything over here. Oh, there he goes. There he goes, and he didn't. Okay, thank you. Let's take that. We'll do that. That's fine. You can have the sword for now. I'm gonna regret that decision here in a minute. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, I am gonna regret that decision here in a moment. No. No, he's in an agitated state. No! All right, you can come with me because you can still open it, assuming he doesn't want to get let go. You can still open the door holding him. There we go. Now, I'm going to let you go. And again, probably going to... Oh, no! Yeah, he's just going to bring a live dragon. That's cool. Thanks. What did I ever do to you? No. I want that white key. I do not want the dragon. You keep the dragon. He's a good dragon. Did he seriously just take the white key? That means he left the dragon. Oh, no. No! Stupid bat. Oh, maybe he left the black key. He did. Okay, good. No, don't swap again. Now the funny part, he still has the black key. Give me the white key. No, he's got the white key. Alright, what if I just wait here? No? Because the chalice has to be in the White Castle now. Like, that's the only place. I've not seen it here. So, let him go. Take the white key. There is some strategies with working with that bat. Yeah, unfortunately, you're probably picking it up, especially on the way that this records gameplay from... No! That bat. Oh, the bat. Oh, it's so frustrating. No. Ah. I need that white key. I need the white key. At some point in time, I'm going to do a complete side video, specifically on getting the Easter egg room. It's pretty complicated. Better off to do it in version 2 of the game. He's gone. He's totally gone. Now we got to go chase him down, because I'm guessing... Oh, what did he leave in his wake? He was carrying a live dragon before. Oh, there's the sword. Might want to go get that, considering I just saw a dead dragon. Now, sometimes, if you're lucky, aha, you can reach through walls and get stuff. Okay. No, I don't need that. Still haven't found the yellow key. Hey, can I have that? Thanks. You come with me. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go... It's the other way. You're gonna come with me to the White Castle, my friend. And then once we've got that door open... Oh! Open the door. Open the door. Get in, get in, get in. No! No! Oh, here we go. You get the fun thing where you get to be... Oh, it's in the White Castle. It's right there. It's right there. Alright, this is a good place to let this go. I could reset the game, but one of the fun, cool little glitches is whenever you're in a live dragon that the bat took. This is a good place to stop on this one. So, alright, let's go ahead and close out the review for this game, shall we? Alright, so that is the gameplay of the game Adventure for the Atari 2600. I do hope you enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and get into some of the scores. We'll toss up here real quick. You'll take note that some of these are relatively high for a reason, and I'll get into all of that. So graphics, let's get this out of the way. The graphics are not that great. Keeping in mind the game is from 1979, and yes, you play as a cube. And yes, the sword looks like an arrow, so let's get all of that out of the way. For me, personally, this game came to me when I was a younger child. I was really heavy into D&D at the time. Still am. Take a look back here. There's still all my D&D books. The graphics never mattered to me. Like, yeah, I get it. So it's a cube, and yes, the sword looks like an arrow. So what? It was an adventure game. It was a game that involved dragons and wizards and going out and finding treasure and trying to be the good guy. So while I agree, yes, that you are a cube, and while yes, I agree that the arrow looks kind of weird, The dragons are pretty okay. I know that there are some people I hadn't even heard it until recently that people make them say that they look like ducks, and now I can't unsee that. And yeah, I get it. They do look like ducks. The bat looks pretty good though. The mazes are good. I mean, when you take a look at the time and the era that it was written in the 70s, the late 70s, overall okay. I mean, there are worse games on the 2600 as far as graphics are concerned. So let's move past that. The sound sounds good. I really do like the sound. The picking up of an item, dropping of an item, killing the dragons, all have their own. Whenever the dragons are trying to eat you, you're never going to forget the sound of that dragon trying to eat you. And then the cool, fantastic sound that you get, the little song at the end as you light up the castle whenever you pull it in. Fantastic. I'm giving it a 4. And then everything else here moves on for the historic purposes of this game. Gameplay is going to be a 5. I'm going to give out so few 5s in all of the reviews I'm going to do, but this one is going to have a 5. The only wonky thing that I could have potentially dinged it for, I do wish that as the cube, if I had the sword on my left side and I start going to the right, I wish that it would have pushed the sword in that direction. That's probably my only complaint. Everything else is pretty fluid for a 2600 game. You move where you want to go, you're using the joystick, hit the button to drop an item, run into an item to pick it up, trying to go through all the mazes. Overall, the gameplay is fun. Trying to dodge your way out of getting eaten by a dragon, filtering through all of those mazes as the bat steals something. It's all fantastic. Fun factor, again, taking from the time frame from where I was in my life at the time and still to this day as an avid fan of fantasy video gaming, period, this was the granddaddy of them all, and this game is so much fun. Even my kids enjoy this. As I was getting ready to do the review and I'm upstairs in the living room playing Adventure, every one of my kids is going through trying to play level 2 and try to beat it. I walked my 8-year-old daughter through how to beat level 1. It was weird to me that, again, having not physically touched this cartridge in 20 years, to have gotten this in the mail a week ago, put it into the Atari, I remembered through muscle memory how to beat the level 1 in seconds. It came all back to me. And I enjoyed every minute of it. And because, especially if you get into level 3, we'll get into the replay factor on this one as well, because if you played on level 3, things are randomized, you never play the same game twice. Like, there's a whole bunch of ways. Like, you can beat the game, the game that I recorded for the raw footage, I beat the game in probably 5 minutes on level 3. I'd never done that before. I go to do it again, I could spend an hour trying to get out of some of those mazes because I killed a dragon in the wrong place and he's blocked up the maze and you can't get past it. You're like, all right, well, now I'm waiting for the bat to steal the dragon. Just overall, this one's also getting some special privileges as far as I'm concerned, because right here, right now, before I go for it for the final score, I am going to certify this game, Adventure, right up here, certified top 10 game of all time on the Atari 2600 console. If you are interested at all in any way, shape, or form in collecting for this console, this game cartridge is a must for your collection. The first fantasy game, the first adventure game, the first game to be able to scroll through multiple screens. It really pushed the idea of what you could do with 4K, just 4K of code to be able to write this one. This game is a must own for any Atari 2600 enthusiast, hands down. Probably one of, if not my favorite game ever. On the console. Fantastic game. So I think the math comes out to, like, I'm going to put the score up here. I think the math came out to like it was a 4.4 is where we're going to put it. 4.4, 4.5, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And it's going to be really tough to knock it off its perch as the number one game is that I'm ever going to score in the 2600 console. Fantastic game. So I do hope you enjoyed the review. This is a great game. I can't stress that enough. If you're interested at all in the 2600, you really need to give this game a try. There are a couple other pieces of note on this one. I know that I usually do at this point the records. I don't think I did that whenever I was doing it because they measure it in seconds, and it's kind of crazy some of those records. There are some sequels to it, and a lot of this came in other sources that were not on the Atari 2600 originally. There's an Adventure 2. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the Atari Age Game site where you can get different ports and different versions of this game. Check those out as well. When you bought the Flashback console, they went through and made an Adventure 2, which was never made into a cart, so I can't exactly review that for the 2600 console, but man, would I love to be able to get a hold of that ROM and have someone burn a copy onto an actual cartridge so I can actually play the game on the 2600. That'd be super fun to do. But anyway, so I do hope you enjoyed the review. Anonymous Atari Age forum user who sent this over to me in such beautiful condition too. It's a beautiful cart. Thank you. I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. I am going to cherish this game. This is one of my favorites of all time, and to physically have it in my hands again, to be able to play it again, means very much, so much to me. My kids loved it. I loved it. This is a great game. You need to go out and own Adventure for the Atari 2600. So I hope you enjoyed. We will see you in the next video, guys, and until then, always keep your carts clean.